Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everyone. Talking about small business one-on-one today. Come on in. How y'all doing today? Hold on, let me get everything going too while you guys are joining us today. Thank you and welcome. Welcome, everyone, for joining in. Small business one-on-one is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about having different conversations about running business in this environment. What's next? How do we continue to do business in this thing? You know, will this become my new normal? A lot of cool topics today, and I'll be taking questions also. So it'd be cool. So it'd be cool. Come on in, come on in. I'm going to 1 minute. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right in, and we're just going to start talking. Any question that you have, just go ahead and post those questions, because I definitely will answer those on multiple topics. So let me just tell you about me. I'm Reverend Jonathan Vaughters. I have a couple of small businesses, but the main one is Bean Street Cafe, um, that we have here in Marlton, and we've been running that business for about 2 years now. So about 2 years now, we've been running that business, and it's doing fairly well, even in this environment, because multiple things that I will share with you later on. But I think we all small business owners in large, I have an Amazon business that we have. We have another type business that we have in Florida. We have different businesses going on, but I think in all these businesses in this environment, we all need some one-on-ones to kind of reset ourselves in this environment so that we know how to operate in this environment and when we come out of this environment. And I think that's the most important thing. So tell your friends to join us right now as we began to jump into some of these topics right now. So let me tell you a little bit about what Bean Street has been doing before we jump into ways to survive in this environment. So Bean Street, when the pandemic started, we were not sure how this would affect us. I thought we would be shut down at first, and I think a lot of small business felt like they'd be shut down at first. Um, but then we were deemed essential because we sold food. We were prepared to shut down and thought we would, but we were deemed essential. But even after that, we felt like um, the environment itself with the pandemic going on, we didn't want to put anyone at risk in catching the virus. So we had to figure out ways to change our environment to make sure that we keep our employees safe. And so by doing that, we basically, put the mask on. We started using gloves more often. We cleaned up more than ever. I mean, we clean every day, but we now it's squeaky clean. Even after begin to run out of sanitizer, we found other ways to make sanitizer. Uh, we just became aggressive at being clean. So we stayed open during this time. The wonderful thing about staying open during this time, which we had talked about many times about shutting down, is that we were one of the few businesses in that side of town that stayed open. So what did that do? That gave us a leg up on marketing, which was hard for a lot of small businesses to do. It's hard for us to market all the time because the budgets that we have. So now people are grabbing a hold to us exactly where we at. Now we were already a little ahead because we were using like the platforms called Grubhub. We were using DoorDash. We were using Uber Eats. We were already had sources that people could order online through us. So we were doing these things, but not to the quality of which we do it now. After a while, Grubhub became our source of being able to stay open. Probably about 80% of our business came from Grubhub. And I'm telling you this to just give you a backdrop on different this particular small business, but we're going to go into more. So we became that, essentially, bonded to Grubhub in order to make it. The problem with a lot of these delivery services that they charge fees. I think Grubhub is up to close to, at the end of the day, close to 30%, 27% is, but you look at this, you're using a platform and you're receiving 71% of business that you may not have. So, which leads me to the first thing I want to talk about. In this environment, you have to be able to adapt and give discounts in many cases. You see a lot of stores now that are bundling their services. I saw Chick-fil-A, they're bundling their services for families, but you have to be able to adapt and be able to give quality discounts that doesn't hurt your business. Quality discounts, what that looks like, you in the old environment, you may, for different sandwiches or different things that you did, say you sold hair or nails or whatever you did, it might have cost $60. But now in this new environment, you might give them $10 off. We have to be able to adjust. Also, we have to be able to give more back to the essential workers, to be thankful what they're doing also. The ones that are going to the hospital, nurses, the doctors, we have to be more involved in the community as a whole. Being involved in the community for us meant that we were advertising, or the community was reaching out to us to be able to advertise us on their local pages. So they would put us on the local page as a business, small business in that area. They would come to see us. Many times they would get discounts from us. We were being subject to marketing for a wider area, but we were giving discounts at the same time. Let me know if you have any questions. So that's pretty much how we were able to begin to adapt in this environment where we at. So one of the main things I think that we've learned too is, and we knew this before, but it's more important now, especially if you're dealing with barbershops, nail salons. You're not open yet, but dog groomers, they're back open, and I recognize it's a lot of things they're doing. Branding is important. Branding is important because they need to know that you're there as a small business. So in this particular environment, what we do is marketing. We market on Boost, on Facebook, on any other social media platforms to let people know we're open, we're there for you. I talked to a dog groomer just the other day, and her business, since she's open, has increased 30%. So this gives hope to others that are out there. 30% since she reopened a week ago. She's booked for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and she's thinking about expanding into another part of another store, another part of that particular environment, that's construction that they have. So she wants to expand, basically bust the wall out and expand into that area. So she's thinking about this now. So her business has increased enormously. I read an article about, I think it was one state that they opened nail salon open, and she made like $50,000 in one day or whatever it's saying over a weekend. But what's going to happen in this new environment when things start to open up? People are going to come out with money to spend, and we have to be ready as small businesses. Have to be ready as small businesses. All right, so entrepreneurs, we are, if you're an entrepreneur, you are and you're a small business owner, you're looking to get into this business. There's a certain mindset that small businesses have, because you have to be able to run when things are thin and be able to adapt to environments. So run when things are thin and be able to adapt to environmental changes. This shows true character when you're going through tough times like this. So you can decide to quit, or you can decide to find out a way to make it work for your business and come out greater than what you did when you went into it. I've known many businesses, bagel shops, small stores that have closed their doors permanently. One gentleman, that we use as a vendor, he texted us and he was having a panic attack. So he wasn't able to deliver a certain product on certain days that we needed, because he was having anxiety over this time frame, because it was hard for him to adapt to what was going on. So I understand the heightened anxiety. I understand the environment that we're in, the stress level that could come because of where we at. But also, I know who we serve, and so I know an environment like this could be an environment that we can flourish in if we are determined to continue to run a process and a plan that's built for our business. So for a lot of, I think we was on here with it was another somebody I was talking to that owns a hair salon. So now, if you're in an environment like that, you have to change the way you're doing business. You could still probably do some business, but maybe it's an online business now. Maybe you're selling hair. Maybe you're sending out different products for conditioners for hair. Maybe in the background, you're working on conditioners now that you're branding yourself. Something that you're doing to get ready for this new normal. Now let's talk about the new normal. This new normal that we're going to be in. If you have questions about the new normal, what you feel like it's going to look like, so I want you to understand that when something new is created or something new comes onto the scene, when things begin to change, those things will not go away. What I mean by that is all these services that we're providing now, you see a lot of curbside service for grocery stores. You see in like the groomer, dogs being dropped off outside. You see in the flower shops, bringing the flowers out to, because people are ordering and they're just bringing the flowers out to the particular people for florists. You're seeing a lot of curbside service. Curbside service will not go away for many of these industries. Curbside service will not go away. Some of these things we're going to have to, as small business owners, figure out a way to make these things even better. These customer service avenues that are being introduced to us, that some places already had, like curbside in its, if we really think about it, was already at some of these locations. Applebee's already had where you can order it, pull up. Chick-fil-A already had a service, curbside service. Target had these services available. So they had these services available, but small businesses, we didn't have these things available. Curbside wasn't normal for us. But when we move from, continue to expand, curbside service will be normal. It's going to be a normal for a lot of businesses. A lot of non-touch activities will be normal. How can we take things like that and bring it to our advantage for small businesses? How can we take those things and make them, to our advantage for small businesses? We have to be able to be innovative and think about ways that we can make our brand as a small businesses even better. Our delivery methods, our ability to, be on time, be precise. Waiting periods have to decrease. Actually, for us, it becomes more of an advantage for me, for a small business, for people to put their order in beforehand, because now we can deliver a better product on time. Because you've ordered before you got there. Because as a small business, if you got an influx of people, a lot of times you're not ready to handle it and it becomes a bottleneck for you. Any questions about that? The new normal, what that looks like for us in your businesses that you may have. All right. So if you have any, just go ahead and post those questions, and we will take them at that in a time, and we will talk about them. So let's talk about people who have not started a business yet. So let's talk about if you haven't started a business. So you're here because you haven't started a business. You want to know how to start a business. Is this the correct time to start a business? In this environment, can I start a business? What does that look like? So let's first start off about the businesses that came out of this, which many people took advantage of and they adapted to. A lot of entrepreneurs jumped right on it. The face mask business, I think, is actually, It ended up being a great idea for a lot of small businesses that were already started, and some people that didn't have a business created a business out of these face masks. So now everyone has to wear these face masks, and probably will have to wear them. What we say, maybe another 6 months to a year or more. I mean, whenever they get a vaccine, so we people will still have them. Can't wear the same mask all the time. So it's a product that will have to be a disposable product that you have to continue to, the wash, but you're going to purchase more after a while. That's a business that you can lean on. Now, just as a sidebar to that, please keep track of your businesses, your everything you sell, your ticket sales, your, you know, any paperwork that you have, because it's a great write-off at the end of the year. This is a sidebar. Great write-off at the end of the year. If you're making masks, you can use that to your advantage at the end of the year to be able to get a tax credit. I mean, a discount on your taxes. You can use it as a tax write-off. So you can use it as a tax write-off as the year comes about. Now, what does that look like? I can use a percentage of my house that I made the mask in. I can use my utilities that I use, the material I bought. Keep track of all that. Keep all your receipts because you'll be able to write it off and get a tax break. All right, that's my sidebar on that. I've seen it happen. It doesn't matter if you're retired, if you're living off your pension, as long as you're not, too far. But that's my accounting side coming out on me. So back to what I was saying. If you want to start a business in this environment, so first you got to realize everyone's not cut out for a small business. Everyone is not cut out for a small business. Share this with someone that wants to start a small business, but everyone's not cut out for a small business. Too many things happen. You have to be able to deal with people. If you're going to be a small business owner, because you have vendors, you have customers, you have a lot of things that happen. So, find out first of all if you're cut out for a small business. You have to work on finance. You have to be able to deal with the finances, and also you have to find your niche. Where do you fit in the business that you're trying to create? So first, you have to figure out if small businesses are for you. You have to look at your finances in second. If you can start a business. Third, what is your niche? What are you going to do different? What are you going to offer that's going to have a solution for people? The fourth thing, you're going to generate a business plan. We're going to generate a business plan. Even in this environment, you have time, you can generate a business plan. What does that look like? In many of our small business, we don't need a banker or investors at the beginning of a small business because it's a small business. It doesn't take a lot to start many times. Other times we will need that. And if you're not good with business plan, find somebody who is good with that. A lot of us have some people that we know or someone that we know that can give us some expert advice. Don't go out and pay thousands of dollars to get a business plan generated for you. It's a waste of money. You can begin your own, find a template, begin your own business plan with the help of someone that that is a professional. The next one, know what hats you wear best. What does that mean? That means know what you do best. Many times we can't do everything great. So if you're great at selling, but you're not great at the numbers, get you an accountant to be able to help you out with the back end of what you're doing. You might start it off with QuickBooks, but give your accountant a login so they can go in and check behind you to make sure you're doing things right. And they make it overwhelming where they'll do more of that. But know what you're best at, so you can bring in the right people to help you when you need them. In our business, we have partners in our business. Everybody doesn't wear the same hat because it's impossible to run a business the correct way. You got to have, people that does more to finance and people that does more to HR and more of the particulars. Somebody in the background being more of the manager. You got to have different people in different places that know what you're really good at, and then bring it all together to formulate a good business. So you need to know what hats you wear best. So identify that early so you won't make the mistake of trying to do too much and find yourself, chasing your tail, chasing your tail. Um, Remember that nothing really happens until a sale is made. It doesn't matter how many good products you have. It doesn't matter how you're stocked and how much you went out and purchased and how your setup looks. If no one ever buys a product, nothing has happened. And in reality, you haven't even started the business completely yet until a product is bought or something sold or something happens to trigger a dollar amount coming to your business. So many businesses have started by doing a business plan, getting the products, but nothing ever happened after that. We have a lot of dead businesses out there that could be millionaires right now. But we have to know that sale has to happen. That means we have to go to the next step. Number two, pay attention to your customers. It's very important and vital that we pay attention to our customers. If you have customers, you should know those customers. You should know what they like. You should know, what they don't like. You should know their personalities. You should understand who they are. We have one customer, for example. She orders a sesame bagel, double toasted with extra butter almost every day. Many times we're able to see her coming, have the sesame bagel in the toaster, and have it bagged up as she's walking through the door. Do you know how amazing that makes your customer feels? If you are able to give them customer service, they feel like that's their shop, that's their place, that's the place where I get my hair done, that's the place where I get my nails done, that's the place where my barber takes care of me. He already has my chair ready. He's on time with it. If he says, if my time slots at 10 a.m., I walk in there at 10 a.m., I'm sitting right down. I mean, anytime you can give people what I call VIP service, it's so relatable. One of the best things that Hertz did, which changed the environment for Enterprise and a lot of the other rental companies, is that they started a program where you felt like you can the cars were yours and you have VIP service. You would register for the car before you get there, go on your app, and then all they do is send you an email and tell you to go to a certain lot. The key was already in it. You get in the car, you drive to the exit, they get your paperwork, and you leave right out. And you got to pick out of a certain amount of cars in a certain area, but your name was on the board when you got off the transportation bus. You looked at your name, you knew your reservation was good, you walked, you got your car, and you left. They gave you, they said, all the special customer service words, and you felt great when you left out. Customer service is a must. It's at its highest premium even now because you're trying to make people feel relaxed, feel at home, and understand that what they're doing is not lost in this environment. Make them feel like they love to be there. People come into our shop, we want to make sure they're happy when they leave. Some people come in with attitude. Some people have just, been laid off, furloughed. You never know what's going on in their life. But if they can come in and leave with a smile, leave with good customer service, it's a plus for your business. So whatever your business you're in, figure out a way to make your customer service better than the next person. Whatever that looks like for you, knowing exactly what they want when they come in. But like I said, the barbershop, having the chair ready, what would it look like? And I'm going to get a sidebar right quick, but what would it look like for a bank to say they're open at 9 o'clock? You need money at 9 a.m. They said they're open, and they open the door at 9 a.m. and they tell you to wait because they're not prepared for you yet. But you need money now. How would you feel at that point? It's your money, you feel like, and they're not ready to give you service at your bank. This is the reason why small business, we have to work extra hard to be ready on time, have good service, good customer service. If anything you leave with this is figure out a way as a small business to give your people, your customers, the best service possible. Because what that does is very um, infectious. I'm sorry. It actually allows them to tell other people, and they'll tell other people, and it'll spread faster than the coronavirus. That people that people will understand that you are a good place to come and get their services what they need. So solve your customer's problem. That's the next one. So in order to be a small business owner, you're going to run into problems. You're going to run into a lot of problems. Things are going to happen. Some things are out of your hand. Some customers are going to be unhappy. They was unhappy when they came in. They was going to be unhappy when they left. They felt like being unhappy that day. But how you treat them is going to be the ultimate part of what you do. You have to be able to calm them down. You have to have some type of healthy management of their emotions. So you have to be able to talk to them in a way that allows them to basically come down from where they at and understand what happened. May have been your fault, may not have been your fault, but either way, you're going to make sure they feel good when they leave out. They come in, they're extra, they're upset. I had to wait too long. I felt like I've been waiting all this time. Well, sir, um, this order takes a little bit longer. This happened this time. Would you like this for free, or would you like, this is a discount? Next time we'll make sure that you get this, and then we'll give you an extra one of those. You know, whatever that looks like, and being able to talk to that customer and make them feel special for whatever happened during that moment. Now, some customers are just they just yeah they just bad apples. Be a nice way of saying that. They're bad apples, and there's nothing that you're going to say is going to solve the problem. But you got to remember other people. If you have a business where normally people are in there, most of our business are pretty empty right now. But other people are looking on to the way you're going to treat that customer. So your composure continues to be, it can be firm, but it also can be composed at the same time. This is for a customer that already had a bad attitude, and they just, what, they just gonna try to slam the door when they leave, things like that. You continue to be firm with them, but at the same time, allow them to walk out the door, let them know. And you may or may not lose them as a customer. They may have had a bad day. We've had some customers come back and apologize, but it's the way you respond as an owner. But if you go there with them, you have the possibility of losing them as a customer and the onlookers as a customers also. Um, so keep in mind that quality takes only moments to lose and years to regain. So basically, what I was talking about earlier, it takes a moment to lose customers. Um, takes a moment to change that perspective on your business. Reviews are a big thing nowadays. People leave reviews for your companies, your businesses that you have. You have to make sure you stay on top of those. While I'm on reviews, make sure you respond to every review that you have. It's very important that you respond. And when you respond in a way that allows you to understand your customer, but at the same time, clarify your position. Sometimes there's no clarification, but many times there's a clarification to that situation. If you have a customer that comes in, they felt like they wanted to leave because they had to wait too long. They put a review on there and said the wait was too long. They got a refund. They may not knew what happened during that time. You go and explain, I apologize for any inconvenience that this may have caused you. We are here to serve all our customers equally. Um, yours was a longer order. You ordered multiple things. It takes a little bit longer for that order. Therefore, this is the reason why that happened. But you come back to us, and we'll make sure that so and so is taken care of. We give you a 10% discount for your troubles, things of that nature. Um, so profitability, put profitability will happen. It may take a little bit longer. All right. So when you start a small business, many of us started look thinking that it, well, telling ourselves it's going to be a long journey, but then trying to make this journey as short as possible before we regain profit. A investment or anytime you look to start a business, it takes a while to gain the profit that you exactly want to have in that business. Um, it takes a while to be able to get the business that you want for that business, but you have to be very diligent, and you have to really take out time to continue to work to increase the profit in that business. It takes a while. This and in these times, you're doing more investing than you are profit. So we're investing a lot of time into people, into essential workers. So we're doing marketing. We're doing all this, and your bottom line may not be moving as high as you want it to move. But you're looking for after this, like I told you a story about the dog groomer. When she opened back up, you're looking for the new customers, the new business that will come. You will be ready for that. And so this won't be where, it won't be where it's a thing where it's very new for you. Um, don't go at it alone. Don't go at this business alone. So reason why you don't go at it alone, because you have resources around you. You have people around you. You have um, different professionals around you, different people that can help you out and wouldn't mind helping you out, but you need to be able to open your mouth and ask them for help. Don't go at this business alone. In order to really grow the business the way you need to, you can't go at this business alone. Remember, the vendors are your partners. Don't treat your vendors any type of way. As you gain vendors, treat them well. They'll treat you well. Treat them well, and they will treat you well. You need to be able to take care of your partners. Make sure this allows you to know that they're shipping your products on time. Like if you're getting in soap, hands you do soap or have a soap business, they're shipping it on time. If you're working with chemists to create a product, you're treating them well when they send your product back on time. Whatever you're trying to sell or whatever you're doing, you're treating those vendors, those partners, the correct way. That way you are able to work with them better. They will give you the product faster. Everyone will be happy, and everything will be in order. Make use of your benefits. Small businesses. If you're not in business yet, then you're going to make use of the small business benefits that you have by starting a business. You can get certain loans through the small business administration. You can go and look at ways, if you're a woman, if you're African American male or African American woman, if you're of Spanish descent, you can do a lot of different things to be able to open up your business. Also, during this time, for those who have a business already, please don't lose out on these economic disaster loans that are forgivable out there. These PPP loans that are forgivable out there if you have employees. Please take advantage of them. I know the PPP loan, they still have money in the loop for you to take advantage of. You just need your forms, your information that you're paying your employees, and the money will get to you pretty quickly in this environment. Take advantage of everything you can do in this environment that's going to help you move along. All of it help you move along. If you have employees, hire superstars, hire people that can get the work done for you, that will help you to grow your business. Don't mean that you're going to be absent from the business, but you need people who have the mindset to be able to help you run the business. I found out here recently, and this is just me, but I enjoy hiring people that does not have a lot of experience in the coffee business, but they may have experience in the service industry. They may have been a waiter. They may have been, a lot of other different job titles in the service industry, not necessarily a barista or, being in a coffee environment. What that does for me is allow us to work with them, groom them into making those particular coffee drinks, our specialty drinks, which are very important to us, um, make them to perfection the Bean Street style. So you may have products like that, ways that you want hair to be done, ways that you want nails to be done, ways that you want, your products to be sold, and especially when you're hiring different salespeople, you may have different ways that you like for it to be sold and different ways. So if you go out and did this before too, if you go out and hire a salesperson who's been in it for 20 years, a lot of times they are stuck in their particular ways that they've been selling. You may have a different way that you like to sell now. So be very particular on who you hire and hire superstars. Um, Pay attention to all the small business related regulatory issues. We talked about that a little bit. So definitely pay attention to those things that are going on. Focus on the people. Your focus should always be on the people. Focus on all the people. All right. So during this environment, what are a few things that we can do? We'll switch gears. We talked about it a little bit. What are a few things we can do? And then we're gonna begin to wrap it up. Few things. We're going to calm the customer down. We need to keep the customer calm during this time. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Many of the customers come in with a certain weight on their shoulder. You don't. Hey, sometimes you feel like you're a counselor, but they come in with a certain mindset. They've Googled a lot of things that are going on. They're on one side of the fence or the next. Many of them might say it's a hoax. Other ones have seen loved ones die. So you have to be able to keep the customer calm during this situation and be able to supply them what they need in a quick amount of time. So try not to have too many supply chain bottlenecks. That means have a clear process from wherever you're going to grab your products to the sales part of it to taking their card. Make it very clean for them so their frustration and anxiety does not heighten in your presence. You have a process that's clean, you've been working on the process, and it should work for you. So don't let the supply chain fail you and cause bottlenecks. If you're having problems with your business during this crisis, during this time, like we talked about, these loans are available for you, PPP loans, and the disaster loan that they have, emergency disaster loan that they have. They're out there. These loans are forgivable, guys. Forgivable loans. All you have to do is show that most of it went towards paying people, paying rent, which you're going to pay anyway, paying utilities. These things are forgivable during this time frame. Why not take advantage of it if you have employees or if you have a business in general? If you have a business, you can quickly go to the emergency disaster. If you have a business, if you have established EIN number, you can go directly to them and try to get money. It might take a little bit longer. If you have employees that you've been paying, if you have the 940 form, 941 form, or I think it's 944 too, it might be another form. You can go to them and actually, give them the information they need through your bank, through, I think even some of the loan servicer are giving out these particular PPP loans from the government, and they're forgivable, guys. Come on, we have to take advantage of these things during this time period. All right, so wrapping it up, Small Business 101, and I hope people have enjoyed it. But we talked about many different topics in this. But I want you to understand that starting a business, there was a tribe, one of the 12 tribes called Zebulun, and they were, if I can call them, entrepreneurs of the tribes. They had their amazing ability to be able to run a business. So we all have a place in our tribe. And if you're an entrepreneur, you understand that you have a place in your tribe also. So starting a business, it's not just talking about it. You have to put a plan together. There has to be a plan in place for you to be able to start your business. Then after that, you have to be able to go about doing, deciding if your business is going to be an LLC, it's going to be incorporated, What type of sole proprietorship, what type of business are you going to have, and how are you going to register that business? Find a name for your business. Find a niche for your business. Find that solution, something that you solve. Is there a question that you solve? Is there something that you solve by having a business? And you have to be a part of that business to see it through, which means every day you have a on your schedule, there's a time that you're working your business. The business has to be worked every day to stay alive. You can't get ahead unless you know what's going on in your business and what you're going to do with the business every day. Every day. If you can't be consistent with the business is not going to be consistent with you. Business needs you, the owner, the visionary, to be a part of it for it to grow. So you have to have a mind for business. You have to find out the niche and what you're going to solve, the name. You have to get incorporated, some type of incorporation for your business to be registered so you can get your EIN number, start your business off correctly. Remember, during this time, things may be a little slower for you. There's advantages with the government that you can have, or you may have a business that's thriving during these times. I know a few businesses that are thriving during this time. We haven't lost business per se, but we used to see close to 80 to 100 customers a day. That's down to probably 10 to 20 customers a day. But we adapted by adding in these delivery services. So we haven't lost business at all. We have not lost business. We haven't seen a loss per se in business. You have to learn how to adapt. You have to be pliable. You have to be able to move, be fluid during these times to be able to correct things and add to your business. You're not changing your whole business model. You're adding to. By adding to, when we get to this new normal, you continue to do your business as normal, but now you have these added advantages to your business. You want to have added advantage to your business that you will have. All right. So do we have any questions? Any questions at all? All right. What's something you would tell yourself now to the business owners you were 2 years? Oh, that's a good question. What would I tell myself 2 years ago that I didn't tell myself now? How important for me, how important it is to understand the pricing of your business. How important it is to understand pricing. That's one of the things, that's probably my top 5. Pricing is important in every business. Here's the thing, and if I was selling Jordans, if I was a Nike owner at this time selling Jordans for $50, those Jordans would fly off the shelf. And if I didn't understand pricing, I would think I was doing a wonderful job at selling those Jordans because they're flying off the shelf. Not to understand that I'm undervaluing I'm undervaluing my product for this time. So if I had anything, when we took over the business, we took over a business with the current pricing. It took me close to a year to probably get a lot of the pricing taken care of and add the things that we wanted to add to the business. 2 years ago, I would have told myself, don't even sell a product until you fix your pricing, because you lose a lot of money. In business, 95%, all businesses do right. 5%, the businesses that are on top. That other 5%, they do it all the time, which is that the 5% is in the details. The details of everything that's about your business, which is the pricing, the descriptions of your product, the way you set it up, the colors of different things, your branding, everything about the details. Small businesses, a lot of time we miss trying to get the product out, looking for the first sale. And we miss the small details because this is not just a race, it's a marathon. And so all we're trying to build upon this and get stronger and stronger as a marathon continues to go to grow your business. You should see continual level on your diagram of business increase over years after years. Another thing, get you some type of software, accounting software. QuickBooks is what we use. Whatever you use, you get it from the beginning to be able to track your people. You know what they like. You'll quickly understand what they like and where you can price your products at best. Have some way to track your products. You need to track it. A lot of times it comes in the software that you use to sell your to sell your products. Any more questions? My daughter and I want to start this food business, but don't have the funds or the means to get straight. Small business, great spots. Oh, means to start. Oh, and we see some great spots. What's your suggestion? Okay, so how can you get started? So food is one of the most wonderful things because food can be sold from anywhere. Um, I saw this business on Shark Tank, which is one of the shows I love, and I think it was lobster. I can't remember the whole name. This is something lobster business or whatever. But she ended up one of the sharks ended up investing in the company, and they end up with food trucks. And now this company, that's what they do. They go around and establish food trucks. We have one right here in I want to say Cherry Hill, Martin, where around the corner. They're sitting out there even now in one of the parking lots over where the that new what do you call that? A grocery store is located. But anyway, so how do you get started? Don't despise small beginnings. If you want to start a food location, start off making food from wherever you can in your home and start selling plates. Sell plates. Find out a way to start your business, get incorporated, your LLC for your business. Use a certain amount of your home for your business. You have a home there. You don't need the brick and mortar on top of your head. You need customers. How you get customers? And now in this environment, everyone is eating up social media. Start your business page and start advertising to the people that you love first, texting them out, tell them you have plates. I got plates this day. I got the plates this day. Figure out what type of food you're going to serve them and figure out how you're going to get the food to them or if they're going to come and get the food. Those are logistics that you're going to have to figure out because the winners are the people who can take food to a certain customer. So, I want this, if I'm selling Jamaican food, I want this certain Jamaican food, it's $10, and you take it to them and they probably give you a tip. So what are you doing now? Now you're getting food money and you're getting a tip for delivery service. You're becoming your own Grubhub, which is an amazing thing. You're starting right there. You're building up. You don't owe anyone. You take the money that you have and start doing what you do. You naturally already have people that love your food. So now you just turn it into a way that's your business. I hope that answers your question. Any more questions? Can you talk more about strategies in sealing the deal? Yeah, making the sale. All right. So there's many strategies in doing this. I ran a business, insurance business, for about 2 years. I knew nothing really about insurance per se, but I knew about selling. It depends on the field that you're in. There are many different selling strategies and sealing the deal, closing the deal out. Everyone has their way of doing it that works for them. My first thing is I've watched this business is that it doesn't matter the strategy you have for sealing a deal. It matters the people that you have that are able to seal the deal. What do I mean? At some point in the conversation when you're trying to seal the deal, you have to corner the person into a certain path that allows you to know that you have a chance. And many times, once you know you have a chance, you can continue to work with that person. Example, they do it all the time when you go to these vacation spots, and they give you, what do you call these? I'm going timeshares. These timeshares, they do it all the time when they seal the deal. They invite you in, they treat you nice, they give you the best customer service, they say the best words to you. They try to figure out where you at as far as your thought in buying a timeshare. Once they figure out you have a thought about it, they entice you a little bit more. They see if it's worth your while. Once they see if it's worth your while, they find a way to, figure out where your budget lines is at that time. And then they say, if I can make this worth your while, would you buy this timeshare today? They find a punchline in there after they willed you in. If I can do this for you, will you purchase this? And so this happens in every business, especially if you're a salesman. On the phones, in live, first of all, you have to be a good communicator, work on your communication skills. But at the end of it, you have to be able to find out if the customer's interested. If they are, at that point, you say, if you use that statement, or you can say, I can make this, price good for you. Are you going to buy it today, or are you going to purchase it today? Is this policy look good to you? If the policy looks good to you, then we can go ahead and get it today. Do you have your credit card on you? You find your way into the deal. So in timeshares, that's what they do. And once they figure out where you at, then they know how to sell you the product. Product. In their case, it's a timeshare that they're trying to sell. So sealing the deal, I think it's more to do with people. As I've been around people, you can find all the different strategies. You can Google the different strategies to seal a deal, but it's the person that says it and how they say it and how they have communicated and built a short-term relationship. Because in selling, all you have is split seconds to build a short-term relationship with someone that would allow you to seal the deal. Any more questions? This travel industry has been, yes, they have. It will rebound eventually, but suppliers are increasing costs for 2021. I'm trying to identify ways to engage clients to travel, especially outside of the U.S. Any recommendation? Oh my God, Donna, that's a wonderful question. My wife does travel on the side also. In this climate, I would say, same thing to her. She had a lot of travelers who had already purchased for this time of year. So now they're having to move their travel dates. They're having to move things back, and trying to figure out, and the prices will increase next year, no doubt, because they understand, if you understand the economy, people are going to have money to spend on these trips. And a lot of people are going to spend money without even thinking about the money that they have because of the fact they haven't had a trip outside of the U.S. or in a long time. But this is what I would say to you doing this industry as you continue to, you remember I said you have to be fluid in this thing because a lot of these countries you can't fly into anymore. What do? You become an expert in business in these places in the United States. Now, things are going to start to loosen up in the industry. As you begin to fly, people will start flying again. The airlines are going to, they have a good pressurized system they have. They're probably going to have you to put masks on. They're probably going to load their airplanes, probably 75% capacity. Well, people are going to start flying again. You might not be able to fly outside of the country to many different locations. But if you can find places within the United States, especially places with low COVID cases, which if you can begin to sell them on locations like that, I believe the industry is going to be able to adapt in a way in the United States because we have places around that allow people to do short vacations. So you are a travel agent, you don't want for them to spend, I'm be honest, you don't want them to spend all their money now because you want the money that's going to come around next year. Yes, it's going to be higher, but people are going to pay. They're just going to pay because they haven't been anywhere. But advise them on short vacations in the United States that where the cases are lower once we open up. I'm not saying that anyone should travel right this second, but I am saying it's going to happen within the next probably 2 months where things are going to open up even more. The beaches are opening up now. Things are going to continue to open up, and some people are not going to be able to hold themselves. become an expert in local U.S. locations that are people don't go to regularly. And I'm telling you, there's some niches out there that people don't understand that we a lot of times we deal with international travel, but there's some wonderful places here in the United States. Any more questions? All right, wonderful. You sure? No more questions? All right, this has been great, great questions. Yeah, during this time, we're going to have to be creative in everything that we do. If you don't uh, take away anything else, learn how to be creative. You are entrepreneurs. You are people that, made something out of nothing in the past. You can do it again. You've been down before. You've gotten up. You reinvented the wheel before, reinvented again. There's things out there. Remember, you're not changing your whole model. You're adding to that model. That way, when things become normal again, you don't have to rush back. You know how to run your standard model. You've just added to make your business even better. So continue to do what you do. You are entrepreneurs. Um, you are entrepreneurs. You know how to get this thing done. You have to be very, very, man. You have to just think about it. What can I do now? Yeah, my business is closed. Yeah, things I can't travel. Yeah, I can't sell policies like I used to because people are not buying them right now. Yeah, things are slowing down, but how can I be creative in this environment? There's ways to make money. Everybody's not suffering in this environment. You have to be able to say, I'm one of those ones that are not. I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to write another plan. I'm going to extend this business out. I'm going to sell this in this way. I'm going to, talk about this more and tell them to sell this on this later. The travel industry, I'm going to tell them what they're going to be purchasing next year. But right now, in probably the next 2 or 3 months, I'm going to look at the states that's going to be opening up for these people that not going to be able to hold themselves, and they're going to travel regardless. So as the cases can continue to go down, people are going to start traveling. Let's work on being more open to the changes, being an expert somewhere else. And I think about this: if I become an expert somewhere else, I'm already an expert in this one place, but now I become an expert in how to ship products better. I become an expert, in different states to send people to stay. I become an expert in different types of shoes that people wear. I become an expert in other areas. Now I've just increased my knowledge. I didn't change it, I increased it. That's what we have to be able to do in this environment. We have to be able to adapt. You have to, if you want to start a business, start a business. I'm gonna tell you, the person that asked the question about the food, this is the best time. People will buy food. They don't want to go anywhere. They can't go anywhere really. Things are closed down. If you want to start a small business in food industry, this is one of the best times because people get to taste your food now. And once you get to a certain place, this is the one more key thing for the person that asked the question about the food. Once you get to a certain place, you probably, if you have your business information in order, you can sign up for one of these delivery programs. DoorDash, Grubhub, get you a nice image created, and and DoorDash will come to your door, you'll give them the product, they would run it out for them, and you won't have to do the running. What if you have no employees? Can you get the stimulus loan if you are hired as a contractor 1099? Good question, Sid. To my knowledge right now, if you have a 1099, you have to be able to fill out one of those forms. I want to say it's form 944, but I'm not sure for the form 1099. Somewhere in there, your business needed to send taxes to the government last year in 2019. So if you did not, I would check with I'm not going to say no because I'm not 100% sure. I would check with your local bank or whoever if you're affiliated with any financial institution, they all have it. Find out the particulars from them. I do know it's a little more challenging with 1099 than it is with regular W-2 or W-4 employees. All right, I have about 1 more minute. Any more questions? I've enjoyed this. I think there's great information out there. I would encourage you guys to, go back and read and look at it again. It's some. I went over probably about five different methods, and then I went over methods to start a new business. Those who already have a business. We talked about customer service, and I really want you to go back and look at this to be able to adapt during this climate. We don't have to fail. We're not going to fail. Victory belongs to us, and we can continue to grow this business. We can continue to start this business. Don't let fear stop you from a future that you deserve to have, that God wants you to have, that you're purposeful for. All right. I'm signing off now. I hope you had a good time. Let me know, comment, let us know if this was something that you're interested in. If you would like to hear this again, we can go even further. We can deal with certain topics more, but let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time. All right. Everyone have a great day. Bye.